Richician!
Hey YouTube, Richician 84 here, and I am profiling my generic warrior deck. The deck which once upon a time was one of the very best decks I ever had. In the Trotters tournaments in Edgeware back in the day, I would win at least 3 matches, and before 2008 I would always top in any of the Pharaoh's Elite tournaments, and I got my 3rd ever tournament win using this deck, more specifically round 2 of the Summer Cup qualifier in 2007. But then after that it kind of got a bit outclassed, and even though I did bring it back eventually, it's probably not as strong as it used to be. It's more of a fun deck now than anything. Yeah, let's show you what I got. I'll tell you what some of them do, since they've either not been seen for a while or you probably don't know what they do. So first of all, we have the boss monster and my original favourite warrior, Guildford the Lightning. Yeah, before Shining Flare Wingman came along, this guy was my favourite warrior in the game. So yeah, it's basically a Regeki on legs. If it's tribute summoned by sacrificing 3 monsters, it destroys all the opponent's monsters. Sometimes I can get it off, sometimes not that easily, but there are ways to do it easily. Then Horizon Guy the Fierce Knight, which used to be in my Blackluster Soldier deck, but now it's in this one. And basically, if the opponent controls more monsters than I do, I can normal summon it without tributing. And I don't think its other effect is ever going to be applied, which is, if this is tributed, you can special summon a Blackluster Soldier monster from your hand or graveyard. Oh wait, maybe it can be, because I do run Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, so I can bring it back from the graveyard as long as it was summoned properly. And this can only be done once per turn, and yeah, the other effect is definitely never gonna go off here, which is when you ritual summon a Blackluster Soldier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. Then the other boss monster really from the main deck, Silent Swordsman level 5, unaffected by the opponent's spells. That's all I use it for. The other effect doesn't matter. It just lets me level up into Silent Swordsman level 7, but I don't play it, so it doesn't matter. Then the Fiend Mega Cyber, which back in the day was the next best thing to Cyber Dragon. Yeah, that's what it was there for. Just an extra monster to put on the field. It's not my original copy, though. This is, though, a rare from Dark Beginnings 1, but unfortunately this one's seen better days, so this one's had to be retired, unfortunately, but it's still in a binder on show, so it's fine. And I've never been lucky enough to own the original print, which was the Ultra from Pharaoh's Servant. Then another boss monster from the main deck, Turret Warrior. Yeah, so basically I'm using a mixture of Joey's monsters, Yusei's monsters, and Yuma's as well, and I guess Yugi's technically. So yeah, Turret Warrior is pretty simple. I contribute a warrior to special summon this card from my hand, and if it's special summoned this way, it gains attack equal to the tributed monster's original attack. Then Goblin Attack Force, some of the more familiar ones are coming up, well, a few. Switches to defense after it attacks. blindly loyal goblin. Control of it can't switch, which is actually pretty good. So no brain control, no mind control, no enemy controller, no big eye. None of those cards can touch this card. And the DD Survivor, if this face-up card on the field is banished, I can special summon it. Or do I have to special summon it? Oh no, I have to special summon it to the owner's, to my side at the end of the turn, and it's once per turn. Then Tusky Knight, here's one of Yuma's monsters at last. When the opponent declares an attack while this is in the grave and I have nothing in hand, I can special summon it from the graveyard and it ends the battle phase. Then Blade Knight, should be familiar with this, especially if you play Goat. Gaga Gardener, which is battle fader but weaker, and I can protect it from one battle by discarding a card. DD Warrior Lady, again, if you play Goat, you should be familiar with her, or I guess Speed Duels as well, and this is the original print. I can't even see the code. Oh well, never mind. Then 2 copies of Goblinderberg, we all know what that does. Then the Immortal Bushy, which is basically Treeborn Frog, but for warriors. If this face-up card is on the field, it can't be tributed except to the tribute of a warrior-type monster, which is fine, because that's all I run. And during my standby phase, as this is in my graveyard, and the only monster type in my graveyard is warrior, I can special summon it, but I have to control no monsters, which is fine. Then 3 copies of Marauding Captain, to special summon any of my low level guys from my hand and do the classic Captain lock. Then Doggy Diver, basically if the opponent controls a monster and all face-up monsters I control minimum 1 are level 4, I can special summon it from my hand, and it can only be special summoned once per turn this way, and it can't be used as an Exiled material except for a warrior. But again, that's not a problem since I play nothing but warriors. And 2 copies of Exiled Force, should be familiar with this one, and this one right here is my very first copy of it. It's not the original print though from Legacy of Darkness, but it is from Dark Beginnings 2. Then I play a single copy of Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, because I've got a good number of light and dark monsters. And then the last monster is 2 copies of Photon Thrasher. And yeah, that's it for the monsters. Let's move on to the spells, finally. 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army. It's kind of frustrating that it's at 1, but at the same time, being at 1 is justified. Then 2 copies of the Warrior Returning Alive, to return a warrior from my graveyard to my hand. The Allied Forces, and basically every warrior and spellcaster type monster, all of my warriors gain 200 attack points for every warrior and spellcaster I control. I got that mixed up in that duel I had last night with George. And Solidarity, I play nothing but warriors, so why not? Photon Sanctuary I play as well. If you're wondering why the hell this is in here, it's basically to make Guildford the Lightning easier to summon. That's its only purpose. Although I can use it to bring out Silent Swordsman level 5 as well, but it's mainly for Guildford. Situational, I know, but it can be done, and I do have a cool combo sort of a combo to get Guildford out easily. Special summon Photon Thrasher, activate Photon Sanctuary to generate the tokens, then tribute all 3 for Guildford the Lightning. Then double or nothing, because I am running Utopia double in the extra deck. Obviously I don't want to hard draw this, but yeah. Monster Reborn, of course, then 2 copies of Potter Duality, just to really make up for the fact that Rota's limited. I'm not going to special summon every single turn, it's just to add a bit more consistency, literally. Then Regeki and Twin Twisters. Then for traps, it's the usual lineup, it's nothing special from me. Mirror Force, Storming Mirror Force, and 2 copies of Solemn Strike. And yeah, that rounds up the main deck. Now for the extra deck, which is all Exceeds and Links. And I have a very large Utopia package right here. So 2 copies of Utopia the Lightning, 1 copy of Utopia Ray, 2 copies of Original Utopia, and of course 1 copy of Double. So you all know what these do, or at least I hope you do. Then Comics Hero King Arthur, I'll read off his effect. Needs 2 level 4 warriors, and if this card would be destroyed by battle, I can detach a material from this card instead. And when I do, it gains 500 attack, and if it does, it burns the opponent for 500. Then Blade Armor Ninja, the double attacker. It's the only ninja I play, so yeah, he's the only one that I can attack twice with by detaching a material, and then he targets himself. Then Heroic Champion Gandiva, which is pretty cool, underrated and very disruptive. This also needs 2 level 4 warriors. I forgot to say that Blade Armor Ninja does as well. As for Gandiva, I can once per turn, when a level 4 or lower monster is special summoned to the opponent's field, except during damage step, I can detach a material and destroy that special summoned monster. And then Heroic Champion Excalibur, 2 copies of him, we all know what that does. 1 copy of Cowboy for Game, we all know what that does. And the Phantom Knights of Breaksword, my only rank 3, we all know what he does. Another rank 3 I did used to play in here was MX Saber Invoker, but can't do that anymore because it's now banned and has been for like 3.5 years now, which is kind of frustrating, because I did like being able to special summon something like Exiled Force from the deck, but its banning was justified. Invokers, that is, not Exiled Force. Exiled Force was never banned. Anyway, and I've got 2 copies of 1 Link monster is sold, and we all know what that does. It's just a rotor on legs. It helps get some plays moving a bit later on. And that is it for the generic warrior deck, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and a comment, share and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm almost at 150 subscribers at the time of recording, so let's try and get there. So yeah, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.